Hey subbies, I am really excited to share with you my first Storytime video on my YouTube channel. This Storytime is for American Airlines, and I can't wait to share with you my American Airlines horror story. This had started on the date of my return trip from my vacation in Chatsworth, Georgia for May 2022. I woke up Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. on May 24th, the date of my departure. I had all of my bags packed, and I had received an email from American Airlines to check in for my flight at 11:36 a.m. So Travis and I make the 2-hour trip both ways to the Chattanooga airport. I then noticed that the airport is very empty, but I didn't think much of it just because I didn't think that there were very many people going places. And I didn't figure that a lot of people would be going to Dallas-Fort Worth. But I was very surprised by what one of the airport employees had told me next. After a few moments, one of the airline employees had noticed me standing there and gave me a very puzzled expression. So I explained to them that I'm boarding my flight for Chattanooga, Tennessee that'll take me to Dallas-Fort Worth, and she says, all the flights have been canceled. There aren't any flights flying out due to the weather. And I was extremely surprised because that morning I had received an email that was saying that it was okay to check in for my flight. So I was very irritated that after driving the hour to the Chattanooga airport to find out that my flight had been canceled. So I called Travis and I told him that my flight's been canceled. There aren't any flights flying today due to the weather in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. So he picks me back up from the airport. He hadn't gotten more than 10 minutes down the road before turning back around to come and pick me up again from the airport. And I was just extremely confused, so I headed back into the airport and asked them to make sure that I had confirmation that I had a flight for the next day on Wednesday. They had confirmed that yes, Wednesday morning at 11:36 a.m. that you do have a flight. And so I left the airport and Travis and I drove back to his house. Wednesday morning, I wake up for the second time at 6 in the morning, had everything still packed and ready to go back to the airport. And I arrived at the airport plenty early at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I told them that I'm here for my flight, that it's today at 11:36 a.m. They weren't able to find my flight, and they called another airline associate over to the computer to try to locate my flight. And unfortunately, the airline associate who had booked my flight on Tuesday for Wednesday, they had made a mistake and didn't notice the date that they had booked me on a flight for Thursday morning at 11:36 a.m. So this is the second day that I have made the trip from Chatsworth, Georgia to Chattanooga, Tennessee, a 2-hour commute both ways for a flight that was canceled the first time due to weather, and now because it was improperly booked. and they were extremely apologetic that if they had a seat open on the flight, they would have had me on it, but the plane was completely full. There weren't any flights that they could put me on or any seats on the flight that I was supposed to be booked on at 11:36 a.m. for Wednesday that I could be on. And so I explained to them that this was my second trip down here and that it's a 2-hour commute both ways. And so the employee had booked a flight for me for Thursday morning at 11:36 a.m. and I asked them, could you please print out some confirmation for me for the flight itinerary so I have something physical to show for proof that I do have a flight. They printed it out for me. It showed the stops, which was nice that it was very quick from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Charlotte, North Carolina, and then to Las Vegas. And I was really glad that they gave me that flight because the flight that I was going to be on Tuesday was going to take me from Chattanooga, Tennessee to Charlotte, North Carolina, and that would be a 2-hour and 25-minute layover in Charlotte, which then I would transfer from Charlotte, North Carolina and fly to New York, and I'd have 21 minutes to get to my gate, and the New York flight would then take me to Las Vegas, and that would be a 5-hour flight from New York to Las Vegas because they'd be flying around the weather that was going up from Dallas-Fort Worth. So after I had my information printed out for my flight for Thursday morning at 11:36 a.m., I woke up on Thursday morning for the third time at 6 a.m. Still had all of my bags packed and made sure that my phone was charged and that I had my charger and my tablet in my carry-on so then I can have some books to read and some shows on Netflix to watch because they allow you to watch them offline, which was really nice. And I had everything still packed, which was really nice, and Travis and I left for the Chattanooga airport for the third time that week, and I had gotten to the airport at 8:30 in the morning, so I was there plenty of time before my flight. And thankfully my flight was there and that the flight was flying and it wasn't canceled due to weather. I couldn't have been happier, but I had never had such a hassle due to a flight being canceled due to weather and then a flight being improperly booked, which I was just at a complete loss for words, but I was really glad that it got straightened around. But I do wish that initially on Tuesday morning when my initial flight was scheduled that I would have gotten an email that day before I had left for the airport that the flight was canceled, so I wouldn't have had to have made that first trip. I'm really glad that I got to share my American Airlines horror story with you, and I really hope that it has inspired you to double check with the airlines on the date of your flight's departure, and to also remember to get some physical information printed out for your flight itinerary so that when you go to board your flight that you have something to show the airline associates for your information for your flight's departure. Let me know in the comments down below some of your horror stories for when you've been flying. I'd love to know. I would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to turn on your post notifications so you don't miss out on any of my amazing, fantastic, wonderful, fun videos that I have to share. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I don't want you to miss out on any of them. I'd love it if you would also follow me on my social media. My Instagram is Comedy Creation. I love to share library hauls, book reviews, and fantastic food photos. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is Comedy Addict. I love to play hashtag games, but what I love even more is being able to interact with each and every one of you incredibly inspirational individuals. Your tweets mean the world to me, and I treasure every one of them. The newest addition to my social media is my Facebook page. My Facebook page is Papa Apple. I share my newest YouTube videos on there as well as book reviews, so be sure to give the page a like. All of my social media can be found in the description box down below. I'd love for you to follow me. I can't wait to see you in the next video, subbies. Until then, sensational smiles, go for miles. Be sure to subscribe and stay a while. See you in the next video. Bye, subbies.